it's a psychological dynamic. That's what the turn on is. It's in the mind. It's not, it's more so in the mind than anything.
In the mind, and I've read books that it says that it also is very healing for some
Yes.
people. How is BDSM healing?
Oh, I totally advocate that BDSM is a healing modality.
Sit the fuck down, you dirty little piggy. Just kidding. Hey guys, welcome back to Luvbites. I'm Dr. Tara and I'm so excited today to speak with my guest, Mistress Damiana Chi, Ph.D., who is a professional dom that lives in LA and also is the founder of the school called the Evolutionary Dominatrix Academy. Hi.
Hi, nice to see you, and thank you for having me on here.
I am so excited to talk to you. It's the world that I don't know much about.
I'm happy to educate.
Yes.
Answer anything. Ask me anything and I'll answer it.
So let's get this out of the way because I think there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to BDSM. What's the number one misconception when it comes to BDSM?
Well, I think it's that people think that it's abusive and that all we do is that we're mean to our subs and slaves and that's it. And that I think, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask this because I've lived in the world of BDSM for over 25 years. And so maybe we should ask commoners.
Well, yeah, but they would have that conception. It wouldn't be a misconception to them. So that's why I'm like, what do you think that's something that people often say that you feel like that's obviously not true?
That it's abusive. And, so what people see in the movies and TV is they use it for shock value. They want to use BDSM images for interest, for shock, for, they're not, it's a shame that they're not interested in digging deeper because BDSM is so much more than that. So much more than just the shock value of someone beating somebody or calling someone a name. I mean, that's all a part of it, but it's like there's so much more. It's a psychological dynamic. That's what the turn on is. It's in the mind. It's not, it's more so in the mind than anything.
In the mind, and I've read books that it says that it also is very healing for some people. How is BDSM healing?
Oh, I totally advocate that BDSM is a healing modality, and that's what I teach my students too. So BDSM is similar to psychodrama. I don't know if you've heard of psychodrama.
No, tell us.
Psychodrama. So I have a Ph.D. in clinical psychology and a master's in counseling psychology. And when I went through graduate school, I was trained in psychodrama, which is a technique for therapy. It's role play, and it's a real method. It's a real method to heal. So like in psychology, it would be something like, if I'm your therapist and you're my client, and you had an issue with your mom, then you would come in and we would do a psychodrama scene where I'm your mom.
Oh,
and
okay.
then we play out whatever traumatic memory you had. But in the end, I come out with a different ending where I'm, it's a healing ending. It's a better ending than what really happened. And then the psyche starts healing after you do that over and over and over. It starts believing it, And so BDSM is psychodrama.
Okay.
So it's playing out these deep, dark fantasies that someone might feel ashamed about.
Right.
And you're doing it, and then there's the during the scene thing, and you're doing it. It feels really real. It's a turn on. It's hot, because you're doing this forbidden scene that you haven't told anybody about, things like that. And then when you're all done, you're like, wow, this person, this woman was totally accepting. And she was not only accepting, she wanted to engage with me about this secret, dark fantasy that others might judge, but she doesn't. And so it's a healing, it's a healing effect. That's what happens.
You feel accepted, loved, valued.
Exactly.
All the things that we as humans want in general.
You feel normalized. You're like not the only one who wants to do this. Yeah.
That's so interesting. So you were talking a little bit about like practicing BDSM when people come in. That's what you said. When people come in and we do this and they feel better afterwards. There's a difference obviously between people who like do BDSM here and there, right? Like, oh, like I'm gonna try like Shabari tonight versus people that live BDSM, and you live BDSM.
I honestly don't think people should try Shabari tonight. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Ooh,
You've
tell
gotta-
me more. Why don't you think people should
because
try
you
Shabari
can't
tonight?
try anything in BDSM. You have to
Okay.
be trained. You have to take
Okay.
classes. You have to study. This is a huge thing. You can't just take a crop and just start hitting someone. You
Yes.
cannot. And I've seen this. I've seen this
Yeah.
before on the internet.
Yes.
Someone will just buy a crop, and you can buy one from a sex shop or whatever. You
Yeah.
can just, and they just start hitting their partner in probably places you're not supposed to hit. You know, do not dabble. Please do not dabble. Get
not
yourself some
dabble.
education. Take some courses.
Yeah.
You know, read, study. It's so important. You know, you're
yeah.
messing with not only the body, but you're messing with your mind. You're messing with your psychology. You're messing with emotions. It's it's all levels of the being.
Okay, so you're definitely an advocate of people educating themselves more thoroughly
You
on
cannot
BDSM.
do this without education.
Okay.
Educating yourself in BDSM.
Okay. What about the people that are like, oh, I'm gonna try spanking tonight? Like, is that BDSM?
No.
Okay.
There's a spanking technique. Everything has a technique, a
Right.
proper technique where and it helps you. Okay, so example. Have you ever been spanked by a partner and you're like, I don't like spanking. I've been spanked. I don't like spanking. Have you ever, has that
I
ever
have
happened?
with my previous partner.
Yeah, and that's because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. There's a technique to it. I've taken subs who have, actually, my slave Charles, who you
Yes.
just met today. He
Her slave is with her today, right here in the recording.
He chauffeured me here today. So he never liked spanking before. I spanked him. When I spanked him properly. I know how to. I have a spanking technique where I can put someone into subspace, guaranteed. You know,
What's a subspace?
subspace is a trance-like state when your sub goes into an altered state of mind. It's an altered brain state wave, and so you know. So when that happens, they feel high, they feel submissive, they feel like they just want to give themselves to you. It's the ultimate state that the submissive wants to be in, and that the mistress wants the sub to be in.
Wow, that's so interesting. Are there certain people with certain personalities that are more like in tune with being a sub, or do you think anyone can be a sub?
So certain personalities will tend to want to give themselves over easier. So they'll do something. They'll come to the session more open, to be like, I'm gonna surrender myself.
Right.
And then there's other people that are more anxious. They're gonna be more in their head. But I can take someone like that and get them out of their head because I'm so experienced with it.
Yeah,
you know? So I
25 years.
yeah.
So, like, if I'm someone who's like, I'm a simp and I want to be humiliated, what would be like your first thing that you do? If I want to become your sub, what do you say, like a client?
Okay.
Or-
Client.
yeah, client.
Client comes into me and says, I
Yeah,
want to
like
be
I'm a
humiliated.
simp. I want to be humiliated.
Okay.
Like, what's
so
your...
a simp is, I think the definition of that is, because it's not a BDSM term.
Right,
I think
right,
it's like a more of a slang term.
like a Gen Z term.
It's, yeah, I think so. I think what it means is someone that wants, that gets walked all over by women, right?
Right.
And so I would say, okay, then tell me exactly what you like to be humiliated about. Tell me your fantasy.
Okay.
Exactly what your fantasy is. What do you fantasize about? And what would you like to be called? You have to find out specifics. You cannot, this is the
Yeah.
thing that happens over and over and over. That's
Yeah.
wrong. You cannot just call someone a loser, pig, worm, whatever, because you don't know anything about them.
Right.
This person might be turned on by being called a little crumb of dirt.
Ooh.
But this person might not. This person might be turned on by being called a little piggy.
Okay.
This person might not. You have to find out.
And they are so, like, just unlimited terms.
Yes. And then and you just the best thing to do is to find out specifically from that person. That's what the negotiation's about. You have to do a pre-scene negotiation with the person you're going to play with.
Okay.
And that's part of proper BDSM protocols. And a lot of people don't even know to do that when they're not well
Right.
educated on, the whole thing.
I'm a big fan of this education. So, like, let's say we're in negotiation.
Okay.
You said pre-scene,
Yeah.
right? So scene is the sex part, right?
Scene is the part where we're in role.
Okay.
You know, whatever the role is.
Okay.
Mistress and slave, teacher and student.
Okay.
You know, we can do countless, endless.
Anything that has like power dynamic.
Yes, exactly.
So let's say like I'm a dude and I have a what is it called? A small penis.
Yeah.
What is it called? There's a
Small
term for
penis
it.
humiliation.
Yes.
Yeah.
SPH.
Exactly.
Let's say I'm into that. What else would you need to know in order to help me realize my fantasy?
Yeah. That's a great, that narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the small penis.
And then there's more.
There's more, you know, you want to find out from them what kind of humiliation, because it could be an erotic humiliation. It could be mocking, you know, it could be like, oh, that's so ugly. I would never want to fuck that.
Okay.
What if the person gets hurt, their feelings hurt in a not erotic way if you say something like that? So maybe the person likes to hear, oh, look how cute. Look at that little tiny baby penis. You know, look at that winky. Oh. It's a different style of humiliation, you know?
Oh.
It's you know what I mean? So you got to ask the person, what do you like? What turns you on to hear, you know, in your fantasy? What turns you on? What do you like to hear from the mistress? You get an idea from them. You have to get it from them.
There are different styles even when it comes to humiliation.
Definitely.
It's not just like calling them names. Maybe some of them like softer.
Yeah, someone want to tease,
sweet,
someone nurturing, someone mean, someone strict, someone a combination, you know, like so.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why it's like this, you see it being done wrong all over the place. Yeah. It's too broad, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen like on Twitter some subs coming up and saying, I'm a submissive, I'm into BDSM, but I'm not a loser. Stop calling me one. You know, because there's so-called doms out there doing this.
Yeah.
You know, just like on a broad scale.
Yeah, because I bet there are also actual doms that are not that educated.
There's more uneducated doms than there are educated doms at this point, unfortunately, because of the internet.
Yeah.
Because that's just been like, oh,
and sometimes you watch porn and you're like, oh, I'm just going to mimic it.
Exactly. That's not education. It's porn. It's, you know, it's for a certain purpose. It's not to learn from, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, back in the day when I started, the only way you could be a dominatrix is to find a mentor to teach you in person.
Yeah.
You know? But now everybody thinks everybody's copying each other. It's a problem actually.
Wow.
For our community, because submissives can't find real doms. It's really, really hard. That's why I started the academy where I certify dominatrices so that they are certified, so that submissives can go, oh, they've been to school.
Oh,
they've gone to dom school.
Let's talk about this dom school. So what is it called again?
It's called the Evolutionary Dominatrix Academy.
The Evolutionary Dominatrix Academy. What is it about?
So I teach what I call conscious femdom. It's conscious and ethical femdom. Femdom means female domination. And so I specify female domination because I teach women. I teach women how to become dominatrices, because there's also a male dom. You know, I don't teach male doms. There's a male dom community. So
because it's like a totally different thing.
You know, not totally. There's lots of similarities, but there's a specific tradition of female dominatrix. Dominatrix. It's an art form that's been passed down for couple hundred years now.
Yeah.
Since the 1800s.
Yeah.
In England.
Wow. Wait. So was that the first time it was documented?
No. Actually, the first time was like 35 million BC. My slave knows. He studied it for me. How long?
They have anthropologists have discovered statues depicting feminine domination 35,000 years ago.
35,000 years ago.
Wait, 35. Is there something BC in there? 35,000 BC, right?
In 3000 BC was the goddess Ishtar, and she was a female dominatrix goddess, and she was worshipped.
Yeah,
I see.
So I mean, it does go back way back.
Yeah.
But the art form, the specific like tradition that we practice today, is the one that comes from England in the 1800s.
Wow. So in the school, what classes do you teach? Are there different courses?
So it's a 6-month program.
Okay.
And so everything is kind of like everything that you learn compiles upon the last lesson, you know?
Yeah.
There's, you know, I teach a lot of verbal and psychological domination, how to speak like a dominatrix, the specific language, because there's a specific language.
I mean, obviously, at the intros, like I try that like 10 times.
There's a
I
specific...
need to go to this school. When I come back from London, I'm gonna go to this school.
Oh, you're welcome to.
Can I enroll?
Oh, yes. I would
Maybe I
love
can do
to.
a whole video like journey.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would
because
love
like
to have you in the academy.
that was hard for me, even for me, and I talk about sex every day.
In my mind, because I'm a teacher, I'm like, I was critiquing that in my mind.
Yeah, I would love to hear a critique. What was
you laughed at the end.
Yeah.
Which we don't laugh as doms because you
okay.
want to be serious dom and you
don't.
want, because when you laugh, it kind of takes away your power. It's kind of like,
That's
just
right.
kidding. And you actually did say just
That's
kidding.
right.
Because you were kidding. You weren't really dominating your audience.
No laughing.
Yeah. I mean, of course you laugh when
Yeah.
there's an appropriate time to laugh.
Yeah.
But when you give an order, you give a command, you
Gotta
did
be
it.
in that role.
Yeah.
And if you break the role, it kind of like breaks the
Yeah,
whole...
you lessen your own power. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So another thing that I teach in the academy is I have a methodology on how to teach domination styles.
Oh.
So it's called the dominatrix archetype method of domination, and so there's 4 archetypes.
Okay,
in
so
this.
4 archetypes of dominatrix
styles.
Yes. Okay.
There's the authoritarian,
Okay.
the seductress, the mother,
Okay.
and the queen.
Ooh,
Yeah.
tell
So
me more.
I have a quiz that I just
Oh,
created,
okay.
actually.
Perfect.
Everybody in the public can take this, actually.
Yes.
It's right on my website.
We'll have the link in the description.
Yeah, so go to my website and it'll say, take the dominatrix archetypes quiz,
Okay.
and you'll figure out what your main archetype is.
Interesting.
You know?
If you
But-
have to guess, what do you think my archetype would be?
Seductress.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what it entails yet, but I'm going to take the quiz. I'm going to make a whole video about it. I'm going to take
You've
the
got
quiz.
seductress vibes coming out of you.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would be your strongest. Everybody has like their strongest archetype coming in.
Yeah.
But then once you go through the academy, you build all of them, and
I
then they
see.
all intermingle with. You want to build.
So you
all
can
of them.
play either role.
So when you're an experienced dominatrix, all of my archetypes come out at different times in one session. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Because you need to bring out your authoritarian when you're dominating in a mental way and bringing your control. Like you want to control. You want to control your sub. You want to put structure to the session and things like that. Your seductress, you want to lure them into your trap and make them do whatever you want.
That sounds like something I
Do. Yes, that's what I figured.
I lure them into my trap.
Yes.
Pussy trap.
Yes. Even if they don't want to, they're just like, they're just coming. They're just gonna. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna do it for you because
Okay.
That's your power. That's your erotic power. Mother archetype is the nurturer, and she's the one that creates the safe container for the submissive to want to let go. Because if you don't feel safe enough to let go, you cannot surrender. You cannot give yourself over to the dom. And then she also comes in at the end for aftercare. Mother archetype. And then the queen archetype, that's the archetype where you are, that you own your power. That they are in awe of you. They worship you. You know that you emanate that energy.
I know some doms that go by their goddess. So is that their kind of archetype?
That's their honorific. So it's like a title. Like mine's Mistress.
Yeah.
Mine's Mistress Damiana, Mistress Damiana Chi, and then.
So why did you pick Mistress over Goddess?
Because that was my vibe.
Okay.
That's my vibe that I felt when I was coming in as a dominatrix. I'm a more of a strict high protocol mistress.
Authoritarian. Is
Authoritarian
that your
is
main?
It's I haven't actually taken my test yet because it's actually fresh off the press. Like I just
I love
put it
that.
up. Yeah,
You heard it here first.
So some of you might be taking it before me. So when I get around to it, I'll take it.
Okay.
I would guess. I'm quite strong in all of them.
Uh-huh.
But you know, kind of how astrology is. Your sun
Yeah,
sign is the
you're-
one that
yeah,
people
you're a
see.
little of this, a little of
People
that.
see something first, but you're actually a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My slave can tell me. What do people see in me first?
Yes, slave. What's
When-
her first style? Like, what's her dominant
What
style?
do I come off as?
If you're coming from somebody who doesn't know you,
Yes.
then you would come off as a dark authoritarian.
Authoritarian. Okay,
That's-
I guess
yeah.
it right. The people that don't know you.
People that
because
don't
that's
know
your
me
vibe.
would, yes.
Yeah.
But because Charles knows me, he has seen all my.
I
He's seen
feel
the
like
whole
you
range.
exhibit a lot of the mother.
I do. I have a very strong.
You
mother
do
archetype.
have mother
I am.
vibes.
And when you call me mommy dom or something,
Yeah,
I'm
dommy
like, that's,
mommy.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
I call all of my mentees in my academy my dom daughters.
Oh,
And I'm their dom mom.
You are the
I
dommy
am.
mommy.
I am, and I'm a mommy in real life too. So
Oh,
I
I
know how to
love
do
that.
that. You know.
So let's try this. I'm excited. I just thought about this. Can we try saying one sentence in 4 tones, like 4 styles?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. What would be a good sentence to demonstrate the 4 styles?
So you want to say them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want
So
you
how
to
about-
teach me to say them.
Okay, great. I love this.
Yeah.
How about get down on your knees, slave.
In an authoritarian way.
Yeah, you know, like there's not, you don't really say them in the different styles. You say them in your dominant. Just say it in a dominant way.
Okay.
So say it this. I'll teach you this. Okay, say it in a down pitch tone.
Down
So
pitch tone.
yeah. So like ending your sentence with a period.
Okay.
So
All right.
go ahead.
What was the sentence again?
Get down on
I'm
your
nervous.
knees, slave.
Okay. Jeff, you ready?
Yeah, he's your slave. So
Jeff, my video team's gonna be the receiver of this.
yes, it helps to have a person. At the end.
Yeah. Get down on your knees, slave. How was that? You're like 6 out of 10.
Can I demo?
Yes.
Okay. Get down on your knees, slave.
Oh shit, I can't do that.
You know,
Get down on your knees, slave. I'm like really trying. Okay, can we try a different one with the second style? The
okay, yeah.
seductress.
Seductress.
Yeah, I feel like it might be easier for
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I think so. How about you're going to suffer for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, say it in a seductress.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try. You're going to suffer for me.
Great. That was great.
8 out of 10.
Yeah,
7,
that was.
7.5?
That's why I know that your seductress is your stronger archetype.
Okay. The
So,
first one was really hard.
I could see that.
yeah.
Because
I don't have it in me.
When you don't feel it in you, it doesn't come out. You see,
Right.
you know, when you don't mean it, or when you don't, you know.
Yeah.
So let's say a mother one.
Ooh, a mother one.
Mother archetype is you will do what I say because I know what's best for you.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Okay. You do what I say because it's best. Because
I know what's
okay,
best.
I can't even do it. You do what I say because I know what's best for you.
Ooh, that was convincing.
Okay.
I like
okay.
that.
So is that my like secondary style?
It could
I
be.
see.
It could
okay.
be. Yeah.
Ooh. Not a mother yet, but
But you.
I'm
but you had-
fostering the mommy
that felt
vibes.
it. I mean, and you feel it. You can feel it.
Did
when-
you feel my mommy vibes?
You can feel it when she means it. You know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Like
What
when
was
when you feel confident about it, it comes
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
And they feel the energy of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think of a queen one. You are privileged to worship me. You are privileged
Oh.
to. You are privileged to serve me and worship me.
Oh, damn. Okay. You are privileged to serve me and worship me.
You didn't mean it, see? You didn't mean it.
Wow. I need to go to this school.
All right, I'm gonna say mine to my
Yeah.
slave, okay? 'Cause-
Okay.
Because it would be more effective. You are privileged to serve me and worship me.
Damn. He just said thank you.
He said, "Thank you, mistress." He said, "Thank you,
Wow.
mistress."
Okay.
Because he
I get
knows-
goosebumps.
Because
This
you
is a
feel it too.
professional dom.
You feel it
Yeah.
too. That's why you could feel the energy. It's there's an energy in the
Wow.
room you can feel. You know.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you something. Like, I've been to sex parties where people dress as doms. they don't have this.
No.
This, I'm getting goosebumps. You are vibes. Like, you're definitely the dom.
Thank you. And I can teach women how to bring it out in them.
Yeah.
It's in you. It's in you. You just have to, it's like if I were to teach you another language, you know, you
Yeah.
have to practice it for a while.
Yeah.
And then you get comfortable. And then you're like, oh, I know how to speak French now.
Yeah.
And then you're like comfortable.
Interesting.
And you know, so it's like that.
It's definitely something I want to explore.
Oh, I
I
think
don't
it'd be
think
great.
I have it in my persona.
You know, it's like women that take the my course, the program in the academy. They don't necessarily have to want to become dominatrices, dominatrices in a profession or even in their lifestyle. They come for personal empowerment.
Yeah.
And it's life changing.
It's very empowering.
Oh yeah, we've heard it over and over and over. It affects your life on all levels.
Yeah.
With the people in your life, at work, you know, people that you date, everything on all levels.
Interesting.
And it's so beneficial.
Yeah. Well, you know, I believe that it's beneficial. There's lots of people on the internet who say things like BDSM people all have traumas, or like guys who are into BDSM, or sub guys like are insecure men.
Not true.
And you're a professional dominatrix. What do you say to that?
And I'm a psychologist.
Yeah.
And I have a degree.
A Ph.D.
PhD in clinical psychology, and that is absolutely untrue.
Please tell us more.
Yeah. You don't have to. Okay, so this is one of those misconceptions.
Yeah.
You don't have to
and
have
you
a
hear a
trauma.
lot.
You hear it a lot. And where do people get this from? Somebody came up with it, and then it just keeps passing down. You know, it's
Yeah.
this misinformation.
Yeah.
So the great news is you don't have to have a trauma. Anyone can be kinky, and so I talk about kink sexuality as a sexual orientation. Actually, like you're born kinky, like you're wired this way from birth. You know, and so a lot of people are kinky from birth, and they're wired this way, and they've even, you know, like many of my slaves have said this, like I came out of the womb kinky, you know.
I'm just a
that
kinky person.
I'm just kinky,
Yeah.
you know, and some of them are way on the end of. I have another quiz that I haven't put out on the internet.
I love
But
it.
it's another quiz. It's for submissives. It's called the Kink Sub Matrix quiz.
Okay.
And so one of the sections in the quiz is there's kink on one end of the scale, and then vanilla on the other end of the scale. And where along the this spectrum are you? You know, some people are so kinky that there's nothing vanilla turns them on. Some people are very vanilla and they're like not interested in kink at all. Some people are in the middle and they're like, oh, I like both. I like to dabble in, I like, you know, both. And so it's kind of like being bisexual. You could be bi-kinky or something like that.
Do you
know?
feel like though, let's say I take the quiz and I'm like 100% vanilla. Do you feel like everybody has a capacity to have fun and enjoy kinky sex, or do you don't think so?
It is my personal belief
Okay.
that no one can be 100%, like, you can't be zero. I don't think there's any vanilla people out there. I think that if you think you're vanilla, you just have not explored, let yourself explore further than that. You know, you won't go there.
Yeah.
You won't let your mind go there. But if you think about it, everything in sex,
Yeah.
everything sexual has a power dynamic to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's always a top or bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And always a dumb sub, and even if it's like in some small level, you know.
Yeah.
And so and everyone has fantasies, and so, you know, so really think about it. You've got to be a little more than a zero.
So you don't think that people that BDSM people like have trauma, or like it's not a
So there are sometimes they might get a kink from a traumatic incident that might be like the source of what one kinky fantasy comes from. That's a possibility. That's a possibility that the source of a kink might come from a traumatic incident. But the good thing is, okay, I'm going to give out an example.
Yeah.
There's rape fantasies. People have
Right.
rape fantasies, right? And so some
like
people,
consensual non-consent.
well, people have been raped for real in real life, have rape fantasies sometimes, and they feel guilty about it because they're like, I'm dirty. They have judgment about it, self-judgment about it, because they think I'm dirty. Now I like have this rape fantasy where I've actually been raped before. Like I'm like, why am I so screwed up? They have all kinds of judgments. But the good thing about the kink world is if you do have a rape fantasy, when you're doing it with someone consensually, a rape fantasy, and you're playing it out with someone that you trust and someone that's gonna like give you some nice cuddles afterwards for aftercare.
Yes.
That is so healing. That is psychodrama. That is actual psychodrama. It's healing. It's healing you on your psyche level, on your emotional level, at all the levels.
Yeah.
If you're doing it, so that's actually a good. It's a good healing method.
Okay.
If you want to, if you want to do something about it, if you want to do something about. I mean, of course, there's lots of other things that you should do about actual rape.
Right.
Like other types of therapies.
Right. 100%.
But if you're called to do this, do it. It's
right.
But first,
you're curious,
and foremost, find someone to trust. Find someone you trust to do this with, who can play this out with you.
So in terms of actions, like let's say guys that come to you, like clients, have you ever stepped on someone's cock?
How many?
You're like,
how many hundreds of times? You mean?
Oh, is that like a lot of people's go-to? Like, is it a popular thing being requested?
Yeah,
Step on my cock.
Even if it's not requested, it's something that I do.
Okay, so you step on guys' cocks. That's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing.
Okay,
it's a normal thing. I mean, if there's CBT requested, what's cock and ball torture?
Okay,
that's the acronym. That's what we call it in our world.
Cock and ball torture.
Yeah, if there's CBT requested. That's one of the things, and especially if they have like a shoe fetish or a foot fetish, then you definitely want to combine those two.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So after you step on their cocks and go through like a bunch of role play, maybe like name calling, or maybe calling them what was it again? Some of the terms that you said.
Like a little worm or something like that. I'm gonna step on your little worm.
Okay.
You're a little worm, but I'm gonna step on your littler worm
or
something like that. Because you're doing small penis humiliation too and stuff like that. This is an example. This is all negotiated first.
Is there always aftercare?
So aftercare looks different for everybody.
Okay.
Some people need, like I have slaves and subs that need a lot of emotional aftercare, and they might need me. They might need like physical touch, or I'll make them put their head on my lap, and just like pet them like my pet. It's not like they're gonna ask me for it. I'm just intuitively knowing, like this is the level of aftercare that I want to give this person because I feel like they need this.
Do we all want aftercare after BDSM play?
So some of my subs don't like. So I can think of another slave of mine.
I gotta go back to work. Bye.
No, not exactly. Some, like for example, one of my slaves, he doesn't like all the cuddly, emotional care stuff, but I always want to say something like he's a masochist. The slave I'm talking about, and I always want to say something like, I'm really proud of you for taking the amount of pain that you did for me. I'm very pleased with your service today. I'm very pleased with the amount of pain you took from me. That made me very happy. And I look forward to training you next time. Something like that. And
that's like validation as love language.
Yeah, and you always want to close off the session with something like that.
Okay.
You don't want to just beat someone and bye.
Step on someone's cock and like goodbye.
No, never ever, no. So that kind of what I just said at the ending the session in a way like just closing it off and giving some praise.
Yeah.
So giving some simple praise like that, or just telling them that you're proud of them or happy with them. That's like good enough aftercare for some people.
And the subs tell you before the session, they say like, oh, this is the kind of aftercare I prefer. Like I want you to really hold me, hug me, treat me like a baby, or just like
I rarely
say some
have
praises
someone.
and
I
leave.
rarely have someone tell me that. I rarely have someone tell me what kind of aftercare they need.
Really?
Rarely, very rarely.
Then how do you get it?
Intuition.
Mother.
And it's from knowing. It's from picking up energy. It's from reading energy. It's a lot of reading energy. So
yeah.
And what you did to them too. I mean, if somebody took a lot of pain for me,
yeah.
I mean, of course I'm going to talk about it. Of course I'm going to say, I'm very impressed with how much you took for me, or that makes me really happy, or I enjoyed myself. Like I enjoyed spanking you today, or anything like that. You just have to know, and it takes experience
and education.
Yeah, but I do have one sub that says, just so you know, I might need aftercare because I get very emotional. Somebody like that is an experienced enough sub to know what they need, you know, and that's very good for a sub to advocate for themselves like that.
Do you have long-term subs?
I do.
How long is the longest?
Oh, I got a text from my longest slave I have like two really that are longest. My longest slave is like, it's over 30 years. I think this
What?
is before I was a professional. I was a lifestyle dom, you know.
Yeah.
So he's been around that long. And then my first professional client / slave texted me today asking for a session. And he's been with me since, I think he was my very first client actually. So that's been like
OMG.
just about 25 years. Yeah.
It's a long-term relationship. This relationship is longer than the average LA relationship.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like, I know mistresses who have longer term slaves and they've had romantic partners, like way longer. They've gone through like, you know,
such a stable relationship.
2 marriages or 3 marriages and then one slave. It's like that because it's structured in such a way.
Yeah.
It's built for longevity, you know.
Do you always like work with your slave in like, let's say, your place, or do you go places with them? I mean, you brought your slave, so I guess like you do go out with your slaves?
Oh, well, as far as sessions, I only
Right.
session at my BDSM studio, my dungeon.
The
Chi
temple?
The
The
Chi
Chi
temple.
temple.
Yes, that's where I don't do out call.
Okay.
You know, so many doms do out call sessions where they bring their toys, they bring their outfits, and they go to like hotels and stuff like that.
Interesting.
I did that a long time ago. I would do out calls like when I would travel to New York and things like that. But that's like long time ago. I just stay where I am. If anyone wants to see me, it's there.
Yeah, come to my temple.
Come to my temple. You come to me.
Wow. So, do you ever think about like living with your slave, or
I have not done that because I
I
have
watched
children.
a video on Vice that like it's like a 24/7 like live together
Yeah.
dom slave relationship. I assume that's not common.
Oh, it's common.
It is?
Oh yeah. I mean, so like in my academy, there's so many lifestyle doms in there who live with their slaves or they're married to their slaves. You know, I have 2 of my very best dom sisters who married their slaves, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so interesting for an outsider because you think like that must not be common, right? And
It
then you're like,
is.
no, it is.
It is. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But I
wow.
have kids, so it's different, you know.
Do you have a partner as well, or?
Not anymore.
Okay.
You know, but we're still the best friends. We
Yeah,
you know,
co-parenting.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we were together for 20 years.
Do you tell your kids what you do?
I tell them a version, an age appropriate version of what I do.
Okay.
So my
Oh,
younger
they're
one,
young.
yes. My younger one, you know, I say that I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
Which is true. I do.
It is true.
It's a type of therapy. Yeah.
And
And
you're
then
a clinical psychologist.
I don't call myself that anymore, even
Right.
though my training is in clinical
New
psychology.
branding.
Because I don't want to mislead anyone.
Right.
You know, I don't actually do psychotherapy work anymore. I do do counseling work under my I'm a certified sexologist.
Okay.
So I do counseling work in under that certification, but it's all kink centered. It's all kink related, you know, life coaching type stuff.
What's the most used sex toy at the Chi Temple? I'm curious.
Oh wow. Okay. There's hundreds. There's hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, I
You know?
assume so.
But
I need to take a visit to the
yes,
Chi
I would.
Temple.
I would love to have you over.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is it the same place where you host the school, like the class?
My school is online.
Oh, I see.
Worldwide.
Okay.
I have students all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do in-person workshops at my studio too
Okay.
sometimes. Yeah.
The Chi Temple.
Yeah. The Chi Temple. It's in downtown.
So
LA.
which toy is the most
So
popular?
let's see. Okay. So what I use a lot is well, the vibrator, you know, because
Yeah.
there's the magic wand. That one comes out a lot because I force orgasms out of how I say it is I take your orgasm. You know, because it's a very dominant way of doing it. You know, and then there's my electrical toys. I do those. I use floggers. You know, I use rope. I use CBT rope. I use the little ropes to tie up cocks and balls. Like
and
almost every
balls.
time I'll do that. You know.
Torture.
Very common.
Wow.
But there's literally hundreds of toys.
Wow.
that are hiding in everywhere, all over my dungeon.
That's beautiful. What's the one thing, if you can teach the mass one thing today, what's the one thing you'd like to teach them?
As far as domination, I
Or like the BDSM lifestyle, what's the one thing that you want to teach people about the BDSM lifestyle?
Okay, I think I said a lot already today about, that the fact that there's all these misconceptions about it and so forth, but something new I want to say is if you're kinky at all, find someone who is educated to play this out with. Like really do your
Yes.
research and play with a professional dominatrix. I mean, okay, so if you're kinky, I think that your best experience is not to go to your girlfriend and say, hey, dominate me, because you're not going to get that full, real, kinky BDSM experience unless you're playing with a professional. So even if you do it one time, just do it one time and be very selective about who you choose. I have a whole list of graduates, certified dominatrices, so they can look at that list.
Okay.
in
I
your
need to
area.
get certified.
Yes, get certified. This is how I did it with, I was with when I got certified as a sexologist,
Yeah.
my teacher actually said, I need to learn more because the kink section in my school, like I need to expand that. So she
Yeah.
actually took classes from me and then she got certified as a dominatrix. And so,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is gonna be my goal this year.
oh, I would love to have you.
It's 6 months, right?
It's a 6 month, and you can do it on your own in your own time. Like
right.
it's a at your own pace course. Yes, and it's a lot of fun. It's so much
Okay.
fun.
All right.
There's a lot of-
Next year I'm Dommy Mommy. I don't know about the mommy part. Maybe the seductress.
You'd be really, really good.
What's a good Dom name for me?
Well,
Let's see.
let's see. Well,
What's
so
honorifics?
so I love the fact that you're Dr. Tara.
Yes.
Because that's who you are in this world, and then in the BDSM kink world, Goddess Tara.
Goddess Tara.
Goddess Tara
I like
or
that.
Queen Tara.
Okay.
I think you're more of a goddess vibe to me.
Okay, I love that because there's actual goddess Tara in one of the religions. Please excuse me, I don't know what religion.
Did you study her? What's she
I
about?
actually, maybe it's not like a religion, maybe it's like a tarot card thing. But I saw a card at a yoga studio, and it's goddess Tara. So definitely exist. I'm gonna have to find out.
Yeah, pick that up.
Yeah, maybe that's my vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, the last segment of my show is called 5 Quickies with Dr. Tara.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you a word or sentence, and then you can just do like a quick response
Okay.
to it.
Okay.
All right.
First thing that pops into my mind.
What was it?
First thing that pops in my mind.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Number 1, using a vibrator while bungee jumping.
Get off quick.
I like that.
You only have a split second.
Number 2, wearing a butt plug at DMV.
Oh, you're tight-assed.
Do you give butt plugs like
Yes.
to okay.
Yes.
To subs.
This is one day where my slave isn't wearing one.
Oh, I see. Number
I'm vibrating butt plugs too.
Oh.
Those are so cool. Oh, you've got to get one because you can control it from your app.
Wow. So is it a form of like good job or punishment?
It's a form of control. you know?
Control.
Yeah.
Okay, like I do what the fuck ever, and then you're just
Anytime.
you're
Like,
just gonna get it.
a fun time to do that is when you're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And the waiter comes up and you turn it up all the way and you're buzzing on your chair. Your slave is buzzing on their chair and they're like, just, they're embarrassed. And
Oh my
and-
god,
and
I
you're
really
just-
want to do this.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Maybe I'll convince my husband.
like, just tell them.
Jeff, you want to try?
that it's not a question.
And number
right?
3, fucking a ghost.
Oh, that one caught me off guard. It's going to be hard to come, right? For that ghost to come. He's going to,
For both of us to
shooting
come.
blanks.
Number 4, have you done this scat play?
I'm not I don't do scat play myself.
Okay.
I know many doms who do, and I have no judgment about it.
Right. But not for your,
It's not for me.
cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea.
Okay, number 5. What would you do to me if I'm a bad sub?
Give you a spanking, of course.
Ooh. This has been so educational, and like honestly, as a certified sexologist, a professor of sexual communication, there are so many things that you've said that I didn't know. So I think this is a mind-blowing video for viewers.
Oh, I'm so happy. It helped.
Yeah, well, where can everyone find you?
So my quick link is my links page is DamianaChi.Ph.D.com.
Okay.
And then I also have a social media handle that is also, it's at Damiana Chi PhD. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but it's not, sorry, can I say that again? I do have TikTok, but it's not, I'm not getting it going quite yet.
Yeah, maybe we can do some TikToks together.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for our TikToks. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Thank you. Become your hottest self and follow me on social media. It's at Luvbites.co on all social media platforms. My Love Bites fam, don't forget to like and subscribe and have an orgasmic day. Bye.
Thanks for listening. This was Love Bites by Dr. Tara. Follow Dr. Tara on social media at lovebites.co. Have an orgasmic day.